Hello and welcome back to my making of Merle. We are currently working on the jacket, and in this episode I'm hoping to refine the jacket shape to something really passable in a final result, the way we see here. And here there's still some major just silhouette differences still that need to be worked out and figured out. Merle is a character for the Kickstarter video game Gray Skies Dark Waters, which I am developing with an indie team in the States, and I've already finished 3 characters for this, and currently I'm working on Merle, an 11-year-old girl who is struggling with the loss of her mother, but not showing it on the outside. So trying to convey that in the shape of a CG digital character is the challenge I'm faced with, and it's a fun challenge. I'm excited. We've went through a lot of technical stuff. Hopefully it'll get more artsy soon. But yeah, I'm gonna go jump right in and start adjusting the shape a little bit here. Because we have that diagonal zipper, which coming back and looking at it now, there's just a lot of things where I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I doing there? And that's one of the great things about taking a break. I suggest every artist do it. Taking a break allows us to look at our model with new eyes, and kind of a new set of, lets our brain reset. And because once you've seen something, your brain creates a symbol of that, and then every time you see it, all that you see again is that symbol. That symbol is how we as image processing machines are able to quickly identify and recognize different characters, different people. It's what happens in a movie. That first introduction is really the most important part of a character's art basis, because that's where he's being established. That's where our initial symbol of that character is created. And then whenever we see things that remind us of that symbol, be it a facial structure, be it a silhouette, be it the texture of their outfit, we are reminded of that character. So I guess what I'm saying is sometimes we need a symbol reset in between art sessions to kind of be able to view our model with new eyes. And that is what breaks are good for. I've also had coffee now, so I am a lot more talkative. I hope you are entertained by my more caffeinated existence. I actually had a huge problem with caffeine in college, so now I limit myself to 2 coffees a day. And it's tough doing that, because sometimes like the illusion is that you get a lot more done when you're caffeinated or on other sorts of drugs, which I have no experience with. But you actually don't, you just think you are. Because when I factually measure my progress, I don't really get that much more done while I'm on caffeine. Or, let me put it this way, a day with caffeine is not a lot more productive than a day without caffeine. Well, no, that's not true either, because obviously you're going to get more done, but a day with moderated caffeine gets a lot more done than a day with pure caffeine, because you have time to rest in between sessions and to reset that visual image. And it also just, the brain needs downtime, you need sleep. Caffeine is not good for getting a lot of sleep. Yeah, exymmetrize that. I'm wondering if I could actually split this up into another group like this. The thing is, that's not going to have a perfectly straight side, so what I'm thinking about, what's currently on my mind, is that obviously this is still too large, but if we were to use this edge to make it straight for that edge flow, it would eventually go down into like a hook, or like a triangle cut out, and that's not what we want. So I think last time I decided that it was okay to just leave it like this, and I'm going to stand by that decision. So right now, I'm actually not live streaming, I'm just recording my desktop performance and talking to myself. This is still sort of a test project for me, to see if streaming is something that I want to do. if I'm comfortable with this kind of format, if it's good for me artistically, if it helps me articulate ideas. These are all like the things that I'm considering, and which is why I'm kind of trying this format out to see what it's like. But I'm imagining that if I do actually start streaming, and if I do actually have content interesting enough to start a decent chat, that it's going to be a lot more interesting outside input coming in, which is kind of what I'm missing right now. I just got the feeling this jacket is too fat. Let's just pull it all in a bit. I'm just gonna mask this. And also, quick tip is if you're using masking in ZBrush, and if you really enjoy doing that, you're gonna be really excited to know that you can move that mask by holding spacebar. So this is Control Alt to invert the mask, and then spacebar to move it around. I wonder if Photoshop has that. I haven't used Photoshop into ever because we're too cheap. I'm actually going to mask out the center part so it doesn't get so skewered. Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed that when I try to be cool, I lower my voice. Which is really kind of derpy. So I'm going to try to consciously not lower my voice. We are silly. I'm a man, I have a low voice. Sometimes wonder where those kind of impulses come from. I guess a low voice means you have a huge bosom and are super manly. But that's not what I'm going for at all. Maybe I'm subconsciously going for that. Let's see, where are we here? So we want to have that going this curve, and here it's kind of going like, I don't want that. Yeah, turn on AccuCurve for that one. So that way I get a kind of a nicer point here. I was talking last time about how AccuCurve, usually it is found under, I think it is brush, curve? Yeah, this is where you usually find AccuCurve, and it's just one of the, like, I would map that onto your very #1 button in ZBrush because it lets you describe with your brush so much more accurately, and it gives you so much more control over the shape of your brush. I'm in love. I'm in love. She's just chilling here. Get my move topological so I don't move the other side of the jacket, so my move brush doesn't affect that side of the jacket. And as I was describing earlier, these different colors are going to be the different padding areas of the jacket. And I kind of already gave a quick teaser of what I hope to accomplish in this session, which is to actually start modeling those layers into the jacket. And what's important is that these areas are straight, because the material of the jacket seems to be pretty tough material, like pretty straight, and it's not one to be kind of flimsily bended all over the place like I'm doing here. So I'm trying to get these lines as parallel as I possibly can. Again, that low voice. You notice me trying to sound cool. I'm gonna merge these into one layer. So all these colors are different groups. You can just group items by pressing, I think, Control-G. And then you can quickly isolate them with your preferred selection brush. Yeah, and selection basically just determines the visibility of something. So what do we have here? We have that angle down here. It gives it a little bit less of a look and more of a look. So that's kind of what I want to go with. I'm definitely feeling the coffee work. Holy cow. That is something that a lot of ZBrush artists struggle with, though, is that we have a terrible reaction to coffee just makes us go ballistic because we're already so ADHD in just our workflow. At least a couple that I've talked to have a strange, a more hyperactive reaction to coffee than most people. I drink coffee twice a day. Once at 9 AM and the other time at 2:30. And that is because we go for lunch at 1:20 and return at about 2:20. 1 hour for lunch break at work. And after that I always have my coffee so I can kickstart right back into my work modus. Work mode. Modus. I'm not talking Latin here. Yeah. Little boys. Nice. So I think I'm gonna go for like this little bit of a curve here, as right now my jacket bot is completely straight. It is of course a little bit of affected by the contrapposto of the model here, but I can't do anything about that, and I think it looks good, so I'm gonna try and implement that a little bit into my own model. I talked last time a little bit about how photographers and fashion designers really do a lot of R&D work for concept artists and for 3D modelers, just in their obsession with successfully projecting fashion articles into a 2D photographic environment, which can be translated onto websites and newspapers and advertising in general. So if it weren't for advertising, I would not have this gorgeous well of resources that the photographer creates for me. So right here, there's kind of something interesting happening. You've got these lines coming in at a very different angle and going out a very different angle to the crease line of the zipper. And in my model, these lines are kind of just flowing through the zipper as if it weren't affecting their shape at all. So I'm going to try and now work on the shape of the zipper a little bit to get that kind of more accurately depicting that nice asymmetry. Almost need another extra edge lapel. That will go through there, and I do not need it on the other side. This is quite a dilemma. Maybe really all I need is to, let's see if I can just make it work somehow. Because I've moved the armpit so far up that this layer has gotten a little stretched. So I was considering, well, let me see what I can do with just a slight edge loop and get that more centered, because I think that's already almost what I need right here. See, that upward angle really seems to be mostly in the midsection here, mid-torso. Down here it's obviously getting a bit straighter. So we can get that angle here. Yeah. Could also just be the angle. But I just want to have a little bit of discrepancy here between the layers to accentuate the zipper more, since it's really one of the things that'll lead the eye up from her face to evaluating the rest of her body and kind of like this inverted 6. softening out a little bit more. Yeah, we've got the Z completely. Well, I'm actually gonna only work in the Z axis for a little bit. Z and X, because I think that got a little messed up. Let's get more poofy. And so what I did here is in the deformation, I've got these axes are the axes which are affected by the move brush. Certain other brushes as well can be controlled with this, but not all. So warning there. And this way I don't affect them in their Y translation at all. See how this is? This looks like kind of like a tuxedo now. It's almost over accentuating this curve here. Maybe if I can move it up. I'm gonna go back and deform all of them. It almost needs that poofiness. Yeah, that gives it more of a jacket read. Now I just need to get all of this a little bit more poofy. Especially here in the center. That's what jackets like, a bit poofy. Then the fashion designer seems to put some sort of a smaller layer here to accentuate the female form and make her look all pretty. Goodness, this is tough. This is really tough. Trying to get this form to read correctly. I'm only gonna affect one side real quick and move this back. I'm just gonna use the secondary smooth function. Yeah, to get it to look like it doesn't like to get folded as much, and it's just doing that kind of for the picture, or because Merle decided to not zip up her jacket and it's being blown by the wind or something. Let's see, this silhouette too, like this kind of like a snow cone. Like right now I've got way too much definition of her figure still in the picture, which usually is a really good thing, but in this case we want to kind of not have the figure because of this poofy jacket and get that well, really warm poofy silhouette. She still looks kind of boyish. I need to figure out. Maybe I can give her a ponytail. Yeah, because in the picture she's got her hair open, but maybe we can get away with that. I'll have to ask the devs what they think. Let's see, here we have... I think this is getting a lot closer to that stiff jacket look. Actually, gonna hide part of the mesh. Oh, that was sloppy. Odd. What? Oh, because I have asymmetry on it. Gotcha. Yep, that is going to be the plight of this model. Alright, so right now I've got the clip curve active, and I'm using it to get a kind of a smoother transition. There we go. And that plight. Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. This is reading a lot better now. see if I can do the same thing for the other side. Select lasso. Let's see if we can get this in there, just like that. Now, mask that, because otherwise there's that smoothing error. Now let's get that one vertex back, because it's breaking my silhouette! Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, just gonna look at this a couple more 100,000 times. Let's see if I forgot X symmetry again. Gotta really, that's one thing you've gotta always have on your mind. I've just found is that goddamn X symmetry. You've got a seam here. I'm not sure of whether to maybe crease that. Probably should. So I'm just gonna go in and put a crease. Edge loop partial. Non-symmetrical, oh no! Wait, maybe we can this time smart resubmit. Not really. Oh, a little bit. I don't know if I can... Yay! It's symmetrical now. Kind of. Wonder how that works. I kind of did a weird thing, but I think it's alright. Since I get lost underneath her, or what? Interesting. I'm just gonna turn off X symmetry. Oh, I see what it did. Basically because I had the center mask, it's not actually masking all the loops. Ah, that's perfect. Oh goddamn. I'm gonna flatten this out a bit more. Still pursuing that shape there. Make sure it's not overly fluffy. It's so fluffy, I'm gonna die. It's my best Despicable Me voice. Okay, that is odd. So now what I'm just gonna go over the whole model and do is try and get these edge loops spaced as evenly as I possibly can. I think the Smart Recent did some wacky stuff here, actually. Got them edge loops. What? Oh my god. Oh, I see. That's what's happening. That's actually okay. I'm alright with this. I'm just gonna slide this edge in a little bit. Okay, I think that is reading more jacket-like. Just gonna get this fold here a bit more. Got a nice poofy curve. And what I'll probably need to do when I do split this up is, well, when I split it up into edge loops, I'll have to actually split the model up because when you saw, if you watched the last episode, when I did the edge loops, it really shrunk the arms because it didn't auto polish. So I'm either gonna have to not do the auto polish or I'm gonna have to split it up. I'm not sure which yet. I'm really excited about finally being able to do the panel loops on this. But I have learned through past experiences not to jump the gun on these things. And to really make sure that my shapes are reading correctly first. Because otherwise you're just going to be so frustrated. Like, there's way too many errors to fix all this stuff. Post the edge of loop. Now if we were working parametrically, say in max, and this was a modifier that we added, then sure, we can always go back and edit the root object. And we can actually work on the root object while affecting several changes which we've defined, but we can't do that. Or a little bit of a bosom. Because bosoms are nice. But not too tuxedo-like. I think that's the danger I'm facing here. One brush that works really well with open edges is the flattened brush, so I often find myself resorting to that in order to fix out the problems the other brushes have wrought with the open edge. So I think I'm pretty much happy with this jacket. I think it's alright. I think I'm ready to start experimenting. Now, what I want to do for sure is to split off this top collar, because it's got a different type of thickness, it's got a different type of layering than the rest of the jacket. So I'm just gonna go here and say split on mask points. Oh, I hate that. Goddamn. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate the whole fucking entire jacket, isolate the collar and say delete hidden, then I'm gonna go into the jacket below and actually hide the collar and then delete hidden. And that's kind of a roundabout way of doing the same thing, but a little bit more accurately than the masking, which kind of always selects one vertex too much. Before I start experimenting, I'm actually gonna do a save. Yes. Alright, and now it's... most other applications, save as is a Control-Shift-S, and in ZBrush I have never gotten around to mapping that hotkey. And so every time I press Control-Shift-S, it's going into the app link projection, which I definitely don't use because I don't even have Photoshop. Why do I not have Photoshop? Because there are reasons, mostly financial. I'm not a starving artist, but I'm not ready to give up my Steam addiction for Photoshop. Maybe that's the problem with my life right now. Life. So, here we have panel loops. I'm gonna actually turn the polish off. Thickness, sure. Loops, let's actually do a couple loops. Definitely double. Before I do this, I'm going to duplicate it. So now I have two of the jacket in case something goes really wrong here. Just so I always have a reference to the original and see what happens. Okay, so this is looking a lot more jackety already, but it's looking really harsh and I don't know. Maybe it does need a little bit of a polish, but I'm gonna try and add that in manually here. Oh, that's way too much. No. Okay, let's see here. Maybe if we do a let's redo that, and I'm gonna try doing a polish by group. See what happens now. Oh, that's already a lot more appealing. The problem is that there's groups for the edges as well. So what I really need to maybe do is regroup panels. Maybe that's not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Maybe if I do regroup loops. Now all of the loops have one single group. Actually, maybe if I play around a little bit with this, maybe if I do a bit more bevel. Good, good. Need the bevel profile to be a bit softer and a bit wider. Let's see how that works. Nope, definitely not what I was going for. What does this do? Right, that's just that double edge. Let me reset this. Yes, there we go. The default bevel is good enough for me. I'm not going to play with that anymore. That's crazy. Just a little polish. Nope, it's not gonna cut it. No polish. Okay, so this is what we're left with. I wonder. How we can do this best so that it. I think this is fine. Actually, I think this is fine. This is perfect. I'm gonna put a little bit less bevel. Make it a really nice. Yep. I'm gonna put a couple more less loops. Just gonna use 3. I'm definitely gonna make it double. Maybe do I even need double? Is this good? Yes, I do need double. I need double because of the fold. So that's absolutely optimal. And now what I can do is to actually mask out, and if you want to mask an entire group, you just control click on it. Oh, and it only does it topologically, I see. Alright, I'm just going to mask this. There we go. And now, it's not going to affect the center vertices at all, and I can create that really nice loop pattern. So, I'm gonna subdivide. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna subdivide this. Oh, that shit cray, man. This is crazy. I don't know if I can handle this. I think I'm probably gonna have to go with subdividing, but not using a smooth. So I'm just going to make another subdivision now, and what this does is it subdivides all the polygons, but it doesn't apply that auto smooth, which you can preview using the dynamic smooth brush, dynamic preview mode, which I really love how this looks, by the way. Oh, gee. I had an idea. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate this group here and just crease this. And now, when I activate my dynamic smooth mode, it actually, delete. Delete higher. Check out that dynamic smooth. Okay, it's not doing it. So, what we will do, continuing on my great idea, which I had, is go in here and set my crease tolerance to 90 and say crease. Now, how is it gonna look? Well, it's creased a lot of them, but not enough. Creased more, not enough. Okay, now it looks like a fucking medieval cataphract. Maybe I can just use this one. Increase all. Oh, I always have to unhide my mesh. Crease. Dynamic. Looking good on the arms, but and the edge here. I guess this is as much as I can expect. Not gonna smooth that yet. It's not that time yet. This one needs a bit of some hand creasing. Crease, edge loop complete. Turn on got that dynamic again. Yes, looking good. I need to crease that one. I think that'll be good. See if we can outslide this edge. And this is the reason that I have to go back and recrease this, because the angle of that edge just wasn't hard enough. Oh goodness, Factorio. You are destroying our social life. Well, my social life is already destroyed, but Factorio is destroying my work, my rest of my free time. Okay, so I think this is pretty decent for an auto smooth. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take these, center them a bit more. Oh no! Seems like my groups were a little interesting, yeah. And there. In a lot of places, actually. But this one's especially problematic. I guess I'll just leave it there and hope nobody notices. You know, it's always an option. Always an option. But I think this is enough to start subdividing. Yeah, I like this. I like this. Alright. Huh, okay. Now we can put on smooth and subdivide it. Like it always does. Where's my smooth? There we go. Oh! Seems like I forgot an edge. Let's make sure all of our edges are. So, because these corners there are so important. We can make it look nice and round later on, much more easily, but keeping these corners, I'm just gonna be completely anal about this, because I know that I'm gonna regret it later if I'm not. Oh no, not the whole edge loop. Increase that. Should I? Yes, I should. Yes, you should, David. Edge loop complete. Looking good, looking good. Oh no, what is happening there? It seems like the inside of the edge is actually then they got creased too. Oh goodness. Now, of course, it does want me to get that. See that? There it is. That's the creased edge that I want to uncrease. Just that. And I just, something that I absolutely love about ZBrush 4 R7 is just the dynamic preview mode. Being able to kind of visualize so directly what your subdivided mesh will look like without having to actually test and subdivide it every single time it is a godsend. There's no other way of describing it. It's so nice. Right here, it's just like, hey, this line is not behaving the way I wanted to. I'm going to move it in it right now, and that is really nice. And it definitely was not behaving the way I wanted to, so I'm going to move it. Mask and move. What I do have to say is I absolutely love the complexity of this kind of a padded jacket, and while doing it in Marvelous would have been really easy, it wouldn't have been as fun. And that's what it's all about, right? It's to have fun. And whoa! No! Shit! This panel loop here completely fucked up. Oh no. After all that creasing work. Oh no. That's Windows. It's absolutely terrible here. What am I gonna do? Well, that is extremely unfortunate. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is actually see if I can split this bevel. This edge here and here, and then insert an edge loop. And then go ahead and I'm manually going to rework this because right now I don't want to lose all that work that I made. So do that, and then I'm gonna inflate the whole poly loop backwards. And now I'm gonna do an insert edge, please. Insert. Oh, and there we go. Well, I guess that is part of the profession. Let's see if we have an autosave. That is something that happens with ZBrush all too often. And we have an autosave. Praise the sun. Have an autosave. Thank God for autosaves. I'm gonna go back and reverse inflate this all over again. And then go back right in here and do what I was doing, which was to insert edge loop right here, and to insert another one seems like I haven't gotten both sides of this interior poly group. So I'm gonna go and insert another edge loop there, another one here. Oh no! Deleted a lot of stuff I think I did not want to delete. God damn it. This is gonna be more complicated than I thought. Well, nothing like just biting the gun and doing it. I think debating about whether taking this into Blender, this would be much easier there. And cleaner. Yeah. I'm gonna export this to Blender to be safe. Edge of faces. First I'm gonna actually go ahead and isolate this so I can work on the inside and the outside. I'm gonna kind of zoom in on this, see what we have here. Okay, dissolve faces maybe? No. Not gonna be that smart, but we might be able to, yes. Debating whether to merge birds that makes sense at all, but I'm afraid it doesn't really. So I'm gonna undo all of this and actually go back into that face selection I had, kill those faces, and then select this bounding loop and say face here, so it's the same with all the objects. And now it's just a matter of knifing. Hope that was right. Nope. The thing with the knife tool is that snap distance, it's never going to be perfect, no matter what you do. See, this should be a good angle. Another thing that kind of bothers me with the knife tool is that I can't rotate while I'm using it. But I guess that's a small gripe, really, since I'm guessing it's a 2D projection, and then it calculates from that on where it should go. So we split this up. Now it's just a matter of no, I don't want to do that. Just merging this up. Delete those faces. Oh goodness. Goodness, that is gonna be, we can get it. Yeah. I'm gonna have to make triple sure that I don't generate any messy topology with the way I'm working here. So I'm being a reckless bastard right now. My wild merging of vertices without disregard for any interior faces there might be. Like this one. Merge that up. Yeah, 1 is done. 2 to go. I feel like this is a lot more work than this is often the case. It's a lot more work to be lazy than to not be lazy. I've had terrible. Oh, so let's think about blenders. See, all the interior faces have been deleted this time. We're gonna go ahead and delete this one as well. Actually, are we deleting that? Yeah. And then the defining edge will be merging these at the center. Let's kind of refocus our view on that. Oh, actually, did not even need to do that. So these have that kind of a center. Okay. Keep on forgetting what the panel loop geometry actually looks like. I'm actually just going to scale these inward a bit. And then create some faces. There we go. Now Tell those faces. Seems like something very odd went on here in my merging. This one should have gotten merged to that one, and this one should have gotten merged to that one. That makes more sense. Yay! Yeah, that makes more sense. And we're going to kill these interior faces. Gotta love poly modeling. Center. Okay, at center. See if that. I'm wondering if that music is too loud. Yeah, it'll quiet down. Okay, I think that worked. Do we have face on here? Okay. Remove some doubles. No vertices removed, that's looking good. So I'm going to just go into shading, recalculate normals. Okay, seems like that's all correct. Make sure, kind of triple check, make sure there's no interior faces on this one. Yes, I knew I'd find one. I knew that I never wanted to kill faces. Odd triangle there. What's going on here, man? What are you doing, man? What are you doing here? Okay. At least that's making nicer quads now. Okay, I'm gonna go down and same thing to the last one, and then hopefully you can start the art. Recklessly deleting faces left and right. Oh, did I delete too many faces? No, I am the face deletion master. I never delete too many faces. Dun. Just get this. Make a face here. Make a face here. Take these two vertices. Grab them in. And same thing down here. God, that was annoying. Am I actually did it? Am I actually did it? This is fixed. Well, seems like I fixed it. I'm gonna go take this back. Jacket error 2. I'll take that underscore away. Gonna do scale number 1, selection only, export OBJ. Let's see if we can now. Oh, please keep my poly groups. I've got a bit of an error here. Huh. missing out on an edge, it seems. That's really not good. Yeah, because this should definitely be going out through here. And there's not the... Well, that seems to have fixed that issue. Double check again, see if there's any other offending things. I'm actually only gonna delete these couple, extrude these couple, because that way I'm gonna be able to keep the poly groups. So I'm gonna append a new poly mesh. Import. I guess. Yeah, this buggered out right here, and that's definitely not good. Should have joined this, and oh well, that's not gonna be further like ruining the shape. This is looking okay. Let's see if I should. Maybe I should go back. Yeah, it's right there. This thing. X only faces. No. Faces. Edge. Create a face here. Okay. Subdivide that. Okay. Actually, yeah, I do need that. Export OBJ. Re-import that. Run model. Okay. Now, at long last, I think we've got it. I'm just gonna make a polygroup for the edge loop here. Group this, and then we go ahead and poly group, poly loop, that, poly, man. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna do it by single poly, and I'm gonna pick this. Put it on. What the hell? I want to pick this one. Okay, and it does not want to. Unfortunate. Well, I guess I'll just have to create a new one and do it for the whole poly group. A single poly. There we go. Now, gonna go into subtool, pull this all the way up over the jacket. I'm gonna go into the jacket and actually delete this one. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to mask bracket topology, add to selection, add to selection, add to selection, split unmasked points, and then go up here and say merge down. Okay. Now here in this jacket, I still have the problem that I have this purple polygroup here, which was the root of all this pain and agony. I'm going to split that as well. I now have my fixed polygroups here, and hopefully in the next session we will be starting to actually detail this. Just so that we can really feel solid about this jacket. And here we go. We have, well, what we can do, seems like oh no. Seems like I'm gonna have to import this color as well since I lost that. But I'm gonna export that in Blender since I still have it open there. And then I'll see you in the next session where we will inflate and layer these layers we actually separated using the panel loops function. And we might add the zipper as well, and then move on to other parts of Merle. I'm especially excited about texturing the shoes in the near future. That's one of my favorite parts of 3D modeling, is shoe design. And she's got some Converse. I've never done Converse before, especially the tall kind, or a shoe variation, which really interests me. So looking forward to seeing you the next time. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Give it a dislike if you think I'm a racist prick, or if you think I'm really bad at ZBrush.